All right, I'll say what I gotta say. Baby, it's Ravens all day. If you don't know what I'm talking about, and no, it's not about football, you clearly haven't taken Riders Republic Season 2 for a spin yet. So buckle up, because Showdowns have arrived. Welcome back to the Riders Report. Before we get started, a special thank goes out to our YouTube members who made this week's episode possible. Thank you to executive producers Bone Crusher 2D and Coach 34.
And Everyone Loves Gahan.
Along with co-producers It's the Mort, Mitch's Mom, and Steep. And not to forget our fans and Fans Plus. You can hit join down below or just hang around for the end of this video to learn about our exclusive content and channel perks.
Season 2 of Riders Republic has released. It rolled out yesterday and today. You can find the full patch notes linked down below, but some of the big things that came, we got wheelies, manuals, and stoppies. We got session markers, we got clans, and we got the Showdown mode. There is a ton to unpack with Season 2 arriving. If you need some guides on how to use some of those features, Just Steepit has posted 2 new videos. He has one going through a guide on how to do the wheelies, manuals, and stoppies, and he has a second one on how to use the session markers. TFG Combo Mambo submissions are also closed. We are working on the finals video right now since we had 5 people enter, 9 runs to go through, so we'll be talking more about that in the coming weeks. But right now, it's time to talk about the Ravens versus the Kodiaks.
Yeah, let's do it. So you're a Bears guy, huh?
I think so. I like that logo a bit better.
Da Bears. Can we get a Da Bears here before we start?
They have to have that in the game at some point.
I love it. Yeah, that'll be a voice emote. But yeah, hello, hi, welcome to Season 2 of Riders Republic. It's great to have you here. It's great to be here on our part as well. Like Mitch said, we have a ton of new content, ton of new functions in the game, primarily all of those bike tricks, your wheelies, stoppies, manuals, but also the new multiplayer series Showdown, which, Mitch, you've been able to get your hands on. I have not to this point. We have some other stuff to cover, but do you want to start or end with your Showdown review?
We can start with it right now. And we talked about this last week. We record usually on Mondays. We're actually doing Tuesday. So I got to play 2 rounds of Showdown mode. I just wanted to see what it's all about. And it's all right so far. It is exactly like Destruction All-Stars, which was the PlayStation 5 exclusive, I believe, that launched with the system or shortly after. And we played for about a week and then did not touch because there were a lot of issues with the syncing online. So when you went to hit someone, it would skip and the collisions just weren't all there. But the premise of it was 2 teams, you drive around the map, collect in Riders Republic lightning bolts, and then once you collect them, you drive them back to your base and deposit them to get some score for your team. And if you run into someone or cause some damage to the other bikes, then they drop everything that they've collected so far. So it has that risk versus reward of how long do I stay out, or do I return every 10 bolts just so that we can continuously bank them into our team.
Right. No, that makes sense. Yeah. Are you going to play a long game where you go out and collect as much and return, and that's a tricky, sketchy route, or are you going to play it closer to home and just collect what you can and return it? That's interesting. Have you been stressed isn't the right word, but have you been strategizing during the game? Like, have you seen teams kind of shifting and moving to adapt to a different play style, or is it kind of just all, one for all? Like, you're just doing whatever you can?
So far, and I was just playing with random, so it seems like you're playing with your team, but there's not too much strategy going on. I am really interested to see what teams competing against each other would do if you got people like Sinnoh and Bones and us playing on one team.
Right. Because
you do pick your bike. There's 3 different bikes. You pick that before the match starts. And to my knowledge, if you're playing with randoms, you don't see which ones they've chosen. So you can't really see the team load out. Not that that would matter if you're communicating with, not communicating with them. So
Right.
there's a bike that has essentially a gun. You can kind of aim it
Mhm.
and then fire and like wipe someone out and make them drop all their stuff. There's a
Oh, that's
bike
sick.
where just it has a speed boost and you can ram people and knock them off. And then the
Okay.
bike that I used the only times I played, and I think I'm only going to use this bike, I don't know if it's going to be the best or I just like it, is the spider bike, which you can also use in free roam or going around the map just throughout all of Riders Republic. You can test
Uh-huh.
it. Has a rocket double jump, so
Oh
you
my
can either
God.
hop the bike a little bit or you can hop it with some rocket thrusters.
Mm.
And if you use the left stick, you can point which direction it propels you. So instead of like just going straight up, you can shoot yourself forward, you can shoot yourself left or right, kind of, and then you can do it again. It's a double jump, so you can do it twice, kind of like
Gotcha.
Rocket League.
So I was going to say, is it a Rocket League thruster or is it something that kind of just punches you over to the left? Is it a Rocket League booster where you can navigate with it, or is it like the dodge function in Steep on the wings? I'm talking about
It's more
like a
like a
quick
little bit of
burst.
boost. Yeah,
Okay.
it gives you more of a push than just a little dodge
Okay.
in a certain direction. It's helpful. So I've been using that because there's different levels in the map. You can like collect some and then hop up to the next level where all the other bikes can't. So you have a lot of mobility.
Right.
And also with that bike too, I don't know why it also has this. I think it's almost too much. It can drop mines that have maybe like a 10-foot diameter that
Okay.
if the other team goes through it, it blows them up and like scatters their bolts.
So do the other bikes have, so that sounds like the dash portion of that bike sounds like the thrusters, whatever we're
Mhm.
going to call them. That sounds like an offensive weapon. So whenever you're collecting lightning bolts, whatever, and someone is coming to hit you, whether it's they're ramming into you or they're trying to shoot you, you can move out of the way and juke them, I'm
Yeah.
assuming. So that's kind of an offensive perk. But then the defensive perk would be the landmines. So I'm wondering, do the other bikes have an offensive and a defensive perk, or is a gun considered just a perk, period?
I think
The Ram is considered a perk, period, because you can hit people when you're getting coins. You can hit people when you're trying to knock them off their bike as well.
the spider bike has it because the other two are direct attacks where if you have someone in front of you, you can ram them, or if you can see someone, you can shoot them. On the spider bike, you just drop a mine behind you. So
I see.
you either have to be in front of someone, like someone chasing you, or you just scatter them in strategic places. So it's not always guaranteed to work. I usually just put them down near either base or kind of in the tight, narrow areas, make the other people have to dodge or kind of ride out of the way.
No, that's smart.
But you're right. Like you do hear little indicators if someone's targeting you to shoot you, or you can hear when the bike is ramming, and I'll just take off into the sky and like double jump and boost like over gaps and stuff, and they can't follow me. So I find it has a lot of mobility.
Seems a little OP right out the
It's
gate.
like having the jetpack in Fortnite, which I've also been using a lot. Just you have so many more options to get around.
Well, that's we used the Spider-Man, the Thwippies, the web while it was in the game, and we loved that as well. Same thing.
It just makes you hard to catch.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you don't have as much attack.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But that's very interesting. I'll be interested to see after about a week's worth of play what folks are picking. Is it everyone playing on the spider bike and one person on a ram, or how is that going to play out in the long run? Do you see room for adding more bikes, or do you feel like this is pretty good? The 3 is a good enough spread.
There might be some room for other things. I don't know what else they would really add. It would be cool though. I mean, again,
an actual gun.
Yeah.
One gun in the middle of the map.
Yep. A minigun that you can sit in and just like shoot around the map.
Yeah.
I don't know what they'll add in. I would love to see people's ideas on what other types of bikes and which ones they're using right now, what they think about the balancing. Just like any multiplayer game, like you need balance.
Right.
I feel like some stuff will get tweaked. Maybe the jump distance or shooting. Like I got picked off a few times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious to see how it develops. I've also seen people, I think it wasn't working at the beginning because people were saying it took forever to get into a match and there weren't many people. I'm interested to see how often this mode is played because it's just so different from what Riders Republic was.
Right. And that's what we were discussing last week as well. I'm very excited to see if this opens up a new avenue or a new door to this community. Folks that enjoy a points-based system, they enjoy this, cat grab and chase. How do you call one of these games? What do you call one of these games?
I don't know what like what you call it. It's
a point collector.
almost capture the flag, but not.
Yeah. But one of those modes, like where there is a winning team and a losing team, it's not decided on tricks or whatever. Like it is a different game mode using these sports in a different way. That's not just be the fastest or pull out the craziest tricks or the most tricks. This is just something completely different. So I hope. Okay, last question that I'll ask you, and then we can move into patch notes. Did you feel an urge to click replay at the end of your first match? Does it have that replayability, that thing that's going to grab the people and just keep them in the game?
It was enough for me to play it again. I'll probably play it over tricks battles.
Okay.
Because it's not.
I'll take that.
But it's easily going to get the same way as tricks battles, where eventually, like after playing it so much, there's just not too much different.
Right. Is it just one map?
Yeah, it's just one map, and I don't know. It's still the same thing. It's go out there, do your own thing for the most part. Your team can help you, but it's like they need a system where you can party up with your group of 5, and then you can invite another group of 5.
Right.
Just the
like
same
NHL,
thing as tricks.
Like any other team game.
Yeah, because right now I'm either playing with a bunch of randoms, and I'm either playing against a bunch of randoms and it's even, or I'm playing against a team of 5 and it's domination.
Yeah.
So it would be just like Tricks Battle, a really fun mode if there was a more competitive scene where you had teams of 5 of friends that, do head-to-head matches against each other. And then you could see how those strategies are going to play out.
Right. And I hope that they work some kind of multiplayer, group, team loading into this mode, because if we ever get a replay mode or some kind of follow camera, this seems like it would be a blast to shoutcast. Yeah. There's not much going into it. It's pretty much no think, just scream and get excited for the event. There is an offensive and a defensive side of it. So boom, you can, goal keep and you can have an event. So that would be fun to run a tournament if we can find an easy way to load these team versus team, which sounds like it's non-existent right now. But
yeah, that's the biggest takeaway I would say is you have to have where 2 teams can do a private match and have someone spectate so that they can film it and kind of get all the angles, because these modes could have really good strategies. I know, right? Like Sinnoh and Bones, they have strategies for tricks battles. And if they're playing against another competitive team, then you have 1 or 2 people constantly blocking them from capturing a zone.
Right.
But then you have to have people dedicated to capturing your zone. So there is like, how many people do we dedicate to this cause? Yeah. And it's just not something that you're going to see with all the random matches.
I would bet money that this mode would get more playable. It would be played more often if you could team up.
Mm-hmm.
If you could have your dedicated team of 5, so that way you do have that strategy, you build it, and you're getting better, and there becomes a rank system in there. Anyway, that could be a complete breakaway game on its own. They could release a DLC that's just the Showdown series, which would be awesome. But Nick, Mitch, Bone Crusher, Cinematic, and Snicks.
Yes,
we're gonna put Snicks on there for the 5th man. Watch out, the international assassin raven murder mess is coming after everyone else. We will take all challengers. All right, we have some patch notes that are sort of related to the Showdown, but there are some other fixes and improvements that I don't know if you want to discuss anything here or if you just want to breeze through as a courtesy to the viewer.
Yeah, we'll breeze through this stuff. Right. We'll get into wheelies another week. I mean, they're fun. People are enjoying them. The only big thing is you can't land in a wheelie.
Okay.
If you
give them a week,
if you are in a wheelie and then jump, you can land in a wheelie. But if you aren't in a wheelie and jump, you can't land in a wheelie.
Okay.
So that's just something minor that should be fixed. But the concept of them, they've been working well for me.
Like I said, give Ian Hawk a week.
Yeah.
And we'll find that is false.
Yeah. The clans are added too. It is simply up to a group of 64. You get your clan name, you get your clan tag of up to 4 letters. You can set it to public or private, invite only or searchable, and that's all. It gives you another friends list to invite people from on your social page. So it does have a couple more people if you joined. Like I saw Steep's clan filled up instantly, so you could at least join with other people that watch him. There's not too much functionality outside of that right now, though.
Okay. That makes sense. And I believe this week, Mitch and I will be setting up the Nick and Mitch clan. I believe we are going to call it replay mode, right?
Maybe. We talked about that.
Yeah, we're going to workshop
Might
some
be
names.
TFG.
TFG, whatever. If you have some suggestions of what the Nick and Mitch Riders Republic
Gang
clan should be, drop those down in the comments below. We'll be reviewing those tomorrow when the video comes out, and we'll be making the clan shortly after. We'll keep it private until we can announce the clan name next Wednesday during the episode, so everyone can join starting next Wednesday at 9 a.m. So make sure, if you don't already watch this when it releases, set a calendar reminder so you can at least watch it to get the clan name, so you can be one of those first 64, or one of these 64 to get into the Nick and Mitch clan. So that's very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing who joins that crazy group.
Yeah. The other big one, we got the session marker, which just watch Just Deepit's video on. You can place a session marker wherever you want, and then you can just go back to it. So if you want to run that X Games slopestyle course, you don't have to use rewind or take off in the rocket wing suit or rewind back to the first place and then travel back. It's just a lot nicer.
Hey, where's that session marker button?
It's where the replay mode button should be. So the wheel still only has 4 spots. They didn't add a mysterious 5th. Eventually, but
yeah, for now they can always tweak it.
The small sidetrack, just I saw someone mention that it's hard to do photo mode when you're in a wheelie because you have to hold the left stick halfway back and then also try to get to replay, which just goes back, or to photo mode, which just goes back to, if you have replay mode, you can go into the replay and then do the photo mode from there, just like Steep. It worked better.
Yeah, right. I wonder if we do another photo contest later on, in a couple of weeks, where it is screenshot a wheelie. And we see what people can come up with as they like spider mangle their controller to figure out.
I saw some comments. They need a third hand just to activate photo mode at that point.
You need a big red button on your desk. You can just smash it for photo mode. I love it.
Yeah.
This looks wonderful. I mean, what a way to kick off season 2 here. You can check all of the remaining patch notes. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on? I'm so sorry I didn't ask.
Yeah, no, I just want to look. They don't care about that.
We're going to have the link down below.
Yeah, half pipe mechanic for Bikes works. You can now hide the co-op link. So when you're riding in a party, you can now hide that. I didn't test it, so I don't know.
Crotch laser.
Yeah, that thing, which is great for things like photo mode and just cruising around without getting like a neon blue light blasted in your eyes when person moves. Rocket wingsuit collisions deactivated for mass races, so I never had an issue with that, but I'm sure people who are at the very front competing and like taking the tight lines had that issue. Some events of the playlist can have forced gear, so I guess if you're doing some of the free for all challenges against people, it can lock the level of gear or the type. New sponsor contracts. Anything else?
Oh, and they also solved the next gen console debate. Right up at the top, patch sizes: PC 6.72 gigs, Xbox One 6.2, Xbox Series X 6.6, PlayStation 4 6.49, PlayStation 5 4.48 gigs. PlayStation 5 wins for the smallest patch size. Why? Why?
Yeah, it doesn't mean that there's less.
Yeah.
There's a good video about it somewhere that because of the very special memory card that the PlayStation uses, it's something about they don't have to have every single asset. Like,
it can compress.
Yeah, every time there's the trash can, they don't have to have it like a version of it tied to the map, it can load a single instance, and it's something like that.
Gotcha.
They can reuse stuff a lot easier, I think, was the short answer. And it's
Gotcha.
also just more compressed. The PlayStation is faster at uncompressing it while the game's happening, so the patch is smaller. I'm not an expert. It's
There's
something
a video
like
somewhere.
That,
yeah.
Doesn't mean there's less content. It means the tech is a little better, so they can make the file smaller.
Well, you heard it right here. Mitch said anyone that's not playing on a PS5 is a chump.
And yet Call of Duty is still what, like 300 gigabytes?
Heyo, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, last thoughts, go play Season 2. If you've taken a break from Riders Republic, download it, check out all of the new features, give the full patch notes a rundown before you do so, just so you know what you're getting into, what to expect, and what to look out for. You know, there's some major fixes in there, some bugs in freestyle snowmobiles, careers weren't unlocking, stats progressions, correct progression trackers being stuck, like different things like that. So give this some love, give this some time this weekend, wherever, whatever, before next week's episode. Decide if you want to play Season 2 and you want to join the Nick and Mitch clan, and get back to us for next week's reveal of what that clan name will be. I'm running around in circles. I think it's time to move on to the Riders Roundup. Yeah! Yeah!
Let's just start there since we were watching it.
How does it work? Okay, so yeah, during the main topic, Ian Hawk BMX already shared a video. This went up literally while we were saying, just give Ian Hawk a week to post this thing. He did it during the main topic. This is unreal, and this is just, it's disgusting. 20 or 30 seconds into the video, Ian Hawk is pulling off a trick where he does not launch, he doesn't jump from a wheelie, and he still lands a wheelie. Yeah, so something that you said could not happen, Ian Hawk's already figured it out.
I'm so confused. We were just speechless watching these clips. We knew he would be pulling off the weird stuff, and man, he's already just showing what's possible with these wheelies.
Yeah, please go watch the rest of the video. It breaks the 3-minute mark, or it breaks the 4-minute mark, sorry, which I believe Ian Hawk typically keeps them under 4. So this one has a little extra sauce in there. But that's everything we asked for right there in the title. Ian Hawk is a fan. The editing is wonderful. Even though it was on the phone, it's all good. We love it. Can't wait to see more from this madman on his machine.
Yeah, it's just incredible stuff.
Craziness.
Yeah, we got some more clips too, and this is from Cosmic. It is his very first montage. He's had a couple clips posted before, but his first montage, and I am just loving all of these stunts that he's pulling off, and adding some fun text in the background too.
Yeah, super, super duper clean. If you aren't already, please go subscribe. Again, that's just Cosmic, COSMIC on YouTube. The link's down below. Follow that and make sure that you're getting it to the right person. But yeah, this is wonderful. And we also have a feature from Kuno. And Cosmic also did an edit together, which is on the self-promo tab on Discord. But Kuno themselves released Ain't No Grave, which is just another beautiful bike edit.
Yeah, and he looks like he does some stuff with Call Me J too, or at least Call Me J was giving him high praise. And you can see why with all these bike tricks. And he's switching up sports too. I love seeing, the changing from bike to wingsuit, and he's pulling off some insane stuff on the snowboard.
Yeah, some massive bull hits on a bike that are just launching him into the side of the hotel, getting some wall rides on like the 14th story of the hotel there. So again, Kuno and Cosmic, go give them some love and check out their joint video over on Kuno's page as well. Last but not least, rounding up this week's Roundup is Zerk Gets Focused with Impossible Wall Rides in Riders Republic, Episode 3.
Yeah, he just has...
The first one's sideways.
They all hurt my brain. If you just go to like 110 in the video, there's, one where he just casually rides on the roof.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Sure. Just do whatever you want.
And what's the other
Nothing
one?
makes sense anymore.
I saw someone commented, Abouts commented to go to 153. So also check that one out.
All right, here we go. 153 in real time. All right, here we go. Oh, threading the needle. My God.
Yep.
Oh, all of these wheelies, or what is it in the front wheelie? Is it a nollie? No. Oh God. Oh God.
no.
Front wheel wheelie. Someone help me out.
It's
Please.
a manual, right?
Sure. These manuals down these mountains are dirty.
Yeah.
Wow. We have the proof's in the pudding right there. Go watch all of these videos and hold on to your butts, because season 2 is not playing around. An entire new can of worms has just been opened up in Riders Republic, and no one's safe.
Yeah.
It's hurting my brain.
Yeah. It's with the combination of getting these wheelies and the extra bike tricks, and also getting the session markers. So now it's a lot easier for them to hit the same spot. They don't have to find their way back. I think we're going to see a lot more like real crazy stuff, because once they find a spot and know that a certain trick is possible, they're just going to be repping it hundreds and hundreds of times.
We're going to repeat it for the 50 millionth time here. Hey, you can repeat tricks all you want, but if you can't capture it with an in-game director replay mode system, what are you doing it for? That's going to do it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in for episode 25 of our guaranteed 100 episodes of the Riders Report. Mitch, we are 1/4 of the way there. What are your thoughts?
It's going quick, it feels like. And yeah, that's it. And we already have something fun planned for, what is it? Oh, the 50th episode.
Sure.
Right.
I'll act like episode. I totally remember what you're talking about. So yeah, be sure to stick around for the next quarter of the Riders Report. Special thank you goes out to our members over here on YouTube, executive producers Bone Crusher 2D and Coach 34. Love you guys. And
everyone loves Gahan.
No, get out of here. Are you
missed
kidding
that
me?
From last week since we were off, it looks like.
Everyone loves Gahan, especially Nick and Mitch and Mitch's mom. Thank you so much to our executive producers. And we got to show some love for our co-producers. It's the Mort and Mitch's mom and Steep. And not to forget our fans and Fans Plus. I don't want that to sound like it has any less energy than those top tier subscribers there. But thank you so much for all of your support from the top to the bottom. You guys are what is making this show happen every week, except last one. And if you would like to become a member and see what that's all about, go ahead and click join down below. All of our perks are listed. It's a whole to do. If you have no monies, I get it. Tax season refund. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But if you don't have any monies right now, you can always just click subscribe for completely free, and stay up to date on everything coming out of the Nick and Mitch network. You can also catch us on our socials, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and our Discord server, where the party is always pumping. Ian Hawk BMX releasing stuff right in the middle of videos. Cosmic and Kuno just making Call Me Jay just lose his absolute mind. It's nonsense over there. It's a wonderful time.
Yeah, you just cooked through every single part of the outro. You made it. If you guys made it this far and you have any thoughts about season 2, the showdown mode, the clans, the session markers, the wheelies, just let us know, because we will probably post a poll at some point too. We want to get the community's thoughts and then discuss those kind of as a whole.
Yeah, we did an episode like that in Steep, where you put together basically a general feedback. What is your favorite sport? What do you want to do? Was that leading up to the first TFG event? Or no, I think it was just a poll that you put together for a main topic.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll do that again at some point.
We'll do another one of that. We'll give you guys a couple of weeks in Showdown, in season 2. Sorry. Make sure you get some time in the game, get some more reps, and let us know what you like and don't like. As we know from the past, the devs are watching, the devs are listening, the devs are reading everything, everywhere. So if you have, a good thought, a good idea, or some constructive feedback, leave that down below. Post it over on Discord. We got the love wherever you can find it. That's going to do it for episode 25. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Same place, same time, with the name and the tag of the Nick and Mitch clan in Riders Republic. Thank you very much. We'll see you there. I'm Nick.
And I'm Mitch.
And we'll see you on the slopes. I almost said catch-yins on the slopes. Could you imagine if I just peppered that in last minute?
Catch-yins on the slopes.
Yeah, we'll catch-yins on the slopes. Jeez.